It's alleged that she purchased a shovel. She bound him by tying his hands and feet together and dug a hole in the background of the house on Whittingham, where she had been living for a short time.
That shallow grave is still there. People who knew the mother walked up to see that grave with me.
That's awful. That really breaks my heart because I got a 9-year-old at home, and I can't imagine a baby being in that hole.
I've got 8.
That's a lot.
As we learn more tonight about a Detroit mother charged with killing her 9-year-old son.
And tonight, police say the arrest made months ago may have saved the life of a 3-year-old child. This is the mugshot for 41-year-old Brandy Pierce. She faces murder and child abuse charges in Detroit, accused of smothering her 9-year-old son, Zamir, and burying him in the backyard.
New arrest warrants show police arrested Pierce in Brookhaven back in December for child cruelty against her 3-year-old. Police say Pierce told them they were homeless and living out of a rental car at the time. 11 Alive's Angelina Salcido is live now from the Cobb County Jail, where Pierce is behind bars until she can be extradited back to Detroit. Angelina, police say that arrest in December likely saved her youngest child's life.
Well, police immediately contacted other authorities back when this arrest happened, as this child, this 3-year-old Zor, was being checked out at a hospital in Metro Atlanta. Now, back then, Pierce told police that she had come to Metro Atlanta for a fresh start with her 3-year-old. This just months after prosecutors in Detroit say she killed her 9-year-old son and buried him. October 2024.
The cause of death found by the medical examiner was smothering and neck compression.
A gruesome death.
It's alleged that she purchased a shovel. She bound him by tying his hands and feet together and dug a hole in the background of the house on Whittingham, where she had been living for a short time.
Detroit prosecutors say 41-year-old Brandy Pierce killed her 9-year-old son, Zamir. His remains not found until January 6th this year, buried behind a garage at the rental home where she lived with him and 3-year-old Zor. Neighbors shocked to learn what happened there.
It's sad, though. It's really sad that that happened.
Sources say the landlord found the home empty 2 days before Thanksgiving. Pierce left to Georgia with her 3-year-old, but was arrested in Brookhaven at a Dollar General for cruelty to children. Officers found Zor in the front seat, naked. Documents show both front seats were pulled forward, a small deflated air mattress placed in the middle. Pierce was arrested again by Cobb County deputies on January 10th for possession of a controlled substance and theft. Back in Detroit,
We are charging Brandy Catrice Pierce today with 1 count of murder in the first degree premeditation. Count 2 is homicide felony murder.
Pierce is being held here at the Cobb County Jail on a $15,000 bond. Officials in Michigan are working on getting her extradited back there so she can face those charges related to the death of her 9-year-old son. We're live tonight in Cobb County. Angelina Salcido, 11 Alive News.
We've been following this story since those remains were found. But today we learn this tragic case stretches back even further. 7 News Detroit reporter Randy Wimbley has more from police, prosecutors, and a neighbor who knew the family.
Investigators believe they've gotten to the bottom of a grim discovery at this home on the city's west side. A little boy's body was found buried behind this garage. His mother is now accused of killing him.
I want to talk about a case of a young boy named Zamir King III.
Wayne County prosecutor Kim Worthy levying charges against 41-year-old Brandy Pierce for the murder of her 9-year-old son.
The cause of death found by the medical examiner was smothering and neck compression.
Authorities believe it happened in October of last year. Zamir's remains were not found until January 6th of this year, buried behind a garage at the rental home on Whittingham, where Pierce lived with Zamir and her other son, said to be 3 years old. Sources tell me Pierce moved into the house in early September of 2024.
It's sad, though. It's really sad that that happened.
One neighbor who did not want to be identified recalled an encounter with Pierce back in early November. She knew something was wrong. It was a month after authorities say Zamir was murdered.
As a woman, I'm looking. I'm like, are you okay? She's like, yeah, and then she would stand there, and then she would walk back. She'd stand there, walk back. So maybe something was wrong with her. I don't know. Or maybe she was dealing with the issue of what she did.
Sources tell me the landlord went to the home to do some maintenance 2 days before Thanksgiving and found the home vacant. Pierce fled the state to Georgia with her 3-year-old son, where Worthy says he is now in foster care. While here in Wayne County,
We are charging Brandy Catrice Pierce today with 1 count of murder in the first degree premeditation. Count 2 is homicide felony murder.
The Detroit Police Department works relentlessly on behalf of victims, and we are confident that there will be accountability for this.
now Pierce is in custody in Georgia. Investigators are working to get her extradited back here to Wayne County, where she will face those murder charges. I'm Randy Wembley, 7 News Detroit.
Truly. So we want to get to the details of this horrible case first and then listen closely to the reaction we are getting from people who know this mom.
I have stood at this podium many, many times and talked about how horrific, tragic, and shocking certain cases are. Each time thinking there are some future alleged facts that could be worse than what I'm talking about at the time. Knowing all the while, though, that there's always a worse set of facts on the horizon.
And those set of facts are sickening. Another child murdered, 9-year-old Zamir King, allegedly at the hands of his mother, 41-year-old Brandy Pierce. Sources telling me Pierce put her little boy into a chokehold, killed him, and buried his body back in October. It was on January 6th, a child's foot was seen sticking out of the ground on the side of this home on Woodingham. Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy with more.
It's alleged that she purchased a shovel. She bound him by tying his hands and feet together and dug a hole in the background of the house on Woodingham, where she had been living for a short time. She then put him in this hole and covered him with dirt.
Once Zamir's remains were identified, his mother was found being held in Cobb County, Georgia, on drug and theft charges.
This case is rather shocking. In my 27-year career, I don't remember seeing anything like this.
That shallow grave is still there. People who knew the mother walked up to see that grave with me.
That's awful. That really breaks my heart because I got a 9-year-old at home and I can't imagine a baby being in that hole.
I've got 8.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. In fact, we've backed off of that house in that area on the west side. A grave is still open there. It is just too disturbing to be near and look at. That's what people are telling us there tonight. More reaction from this at 6 o'clock, guys. But as far as Pierce goes, the mom, she's in Georgia. She'll be brought back here to face those murder charges and child abuse charges. She has a 3-year-old who is safe in foster care tonight.
Man, we back with another crazy story out of Detroit, Michigan, about a 41-year-old mother named Brandy Pierce, accused of killing her 9-year-old son, Zamir King III. Now, this don't make no sense that, a woman to be accused of something as this crazy because she gave birth to this 9-year-old child. But like I said, at the end of the day, we're in our last days. We're in the days of so much evil going on. It's just a crazy situation. But this mother facing life in prison without parole. And the worst thing is the premeditated part, because she planned all this. She planned to suffocate her son, bought a shovel, dig the grave, and then put him in there. It's just another crazy situation. Then she fled Detroit and went to Georgia with the 3-year-old son and committing petty larceny and different crimes around the state where she started going to jail. But she thought she got away with this. Didn't report it. Luckily, the homeowner of the house came to do inspection and found this 9-year-old deceased child in the backyard in the shallow grave with his foot sticking out of the dirt. A devastating situation. But at the end of the day, this evil people, this is what evil people do. That don't have no remorse, that can birth a child and lead a state like you don't care about what happened. But this the days we living in. We continue to see these type of brazen crimes, devastating events But this the days we living in. It's a crazy situation. But let me know what y'all think about this crazy story. We want to send condolences to the family. Hopefully the 3-year-old be safe. Find someone, family members or someone that's going to love and cherish him and make sure he feel loved. Because this is a devastating situation. But let me know what y'all think about this crazy story. We out.